So what is nuclear winter? Nuclear winter is a theoretical climate condition that could occur after a large-scale nuclear war. This phenomenon is characterized by a significant and prolonged drop in global temperatures due to the massive amounts of smoke and soot released into the atmosphere from widespread firestorms ignited by nuclear explosions. These particles would block sunlight, drastically reducing the amount of solar energy reaching the Earth's surface. The concept of nuclear winter gained prominence during the Cold War when the threat of nuclear conflict between the U.S. and Soviet Union was at its peak. And scientists modeled scenarios in which multiple nuclear detonations would set off extensive fires and release particulate matter into the stratosphere. This layer of smoke could persist for months or even years, leading to severe climatic changes. The growing global tensions of today, marked by geopolitical instability and conflicts, heighten the risk of nuclear strikes as nations facing severe crises may perceive they've got nothing to lose. So how could nuclear winter happen? A nuclear winter could easily be triggered by the detonation of approximately 100 nuclear weapons of the currently known type in urban areas. Modern nuclear arsenals are more than capable of causing this level of destruction. And here's how it would unfold. The initial blast and firestorms. The immediate effects of nuclear explosions include intense heat and blast waves that destroy everything within several kilometers of the detonation site. The heat would ignite massive fires, consuming cities and forests. Soot and smoke emission. The firestorms generated would loft immense amounts of soot, smoke, and dust into the upper atmosphere. And studies suggest that as few as 100 nuclear explosions could produce enough particulate matter to significantly alter the climate. Atmospheric distribution. Once up in the stratosphere, these particles would spread globally, blocking sunlight. And unlike weather-related clouds, which are short-lived, soot in the stratosphere could remain aloft for years. Temperature drop. With sunlight blocked, surface temperatures would plummet. Some models predict temperature drops of up to 36 to 54 degrees Fahrenheit in many regions, leading to unprecedented cold. Impact and long-term effects. The effects of a nuclear winter would be catastrophic and wide-ranging, affecting every aspect of life on Earth. Agricultural collapse. Reduced sunlight and colder temperatures would devastate global agriculture. Crops would fail, and growing seasons would shorten, leading to widespread famine. Staple crops like wheat and rice could see yields drop by up to 90%. Ecological disruption. The suddenly altered climate would severely disrupt ecosystems. Many species of plants and animals, unable to adapt quickly enough to the new conditions, would face extinction. The food chain would be severely impacted, affecting both terrestrial and marine life. Human health. The combined effects of the cold, the famine, and radiation exposure from the initial nuclear blasts would result in a massive loss of life. Survivors would face malnutrition, weakened immune systems, and increased susceptibility to disease. Economic collapse. The global economy would likely collapse as supply chains break down, markets fail, and resources become scarce. Societal structures would be strained to the breaking point, potentially leading to widespread conflict and social unrest. Radiation effects. Beyond the climatic effects, the radiation from nuclear explosions would have long-lasting consequences. Areas close to each blast site would be heavily contaminated, rendering them uninhabitable for decades. Radiation sickness and increased cancer rates would further strain health systems. Well, can nuclear winter even be survived? Surviving a nuclear winter poses an immense challenge, to say the least. While some preparation and adaptation are possible, the sheer scale of the disaster would make it difficult for most of humanity to endure. However, here are some strategies that could improve your survival chances. Preparation. Stockpiling food, water, and medical supplies would be essential. Given the collapse of agriculture, stored food would be a primary source of sustenance. Additionally, securing safe shelter from both the cold and radiation is crucial. Agricultural innovation. Developing indoor and hydroponic farming techniques could provide some food security. Using artificial light sources, crops could be grown in controlled environments, insulated from the harsh external conditions. Global cooperation. Surviving a nuclear winter would require unprecedented international cooperation. Sharing resources, knowledge, and support could help mitigate some of the worst impacts. Global food distribution networks could be established to ensure that resources reach the most affected areas. Technological solutions. Investment in technologies that can counteract climate alterations, like geoengineering, might offer some hope. Techniques like stratospheric aerosol injection to offset the cooling effects of carbon capture to mitigate environmental damage can also be explored. Long-term adaptation. In the longer term, humanity would need to adapt to a completely new climatic reality. This could involve changes in infrastructure, developing new forms of energy, and restructuring societies to become more resilient to such extreme conditions. Nuclear winter represents one of the most severe existential threats to humanity. And the ease with which it can be triggered, given our current nuclear arsenals, combined with its devastating global impacts, underscores the importance of preventing nuclear conflict. And while survival is theoretically possible through preparation, innovation, and cooperation, the best strategy is obviously to avoid this scenario altogether. The potential for desperate decision-making by world leaders who feel they have nothing left to lose is, unfortunately, always a possibility. Let's just hope it never comes to that.